Hi, it's Sam. I'm just wanting to get in on the unboxing action. So, what I got today, earlier than they told me it was going to ship, was the new Apple TV 2. And it's actually really small. So, I mean, I've heard it described as the hockey puck, but it actually is pretty small. So, anyway, I thought I'd just open it up and share the joy with you if you haven't had yours delivered yet. Okay, so basically it's just a regular little dinky small Apple classic box. Has a couple of their logos they've been using on some stuff. Their wireless in, HDMI, blah blah blah. Whole bunch of stuff about how you can rent things and blah blah blah. And as most of you probably already know, that's all you can do on this. You can't purchase the new Apple TV. I'm just going to use a nice box cutter and be very gentle. Get through some of this plastic here. See if we can do this so you can see what I'm doing. It just slides out. It's my first time dealing with the laptop eyesight for this kind of a thing. I usually use the old eyesight, and it's a little bit easier to control. So it's in typical Apple fashion, put in really nicely, covered in plastic, so it looks pure. Oh, nice. So underneath, they have the new Apple remote, which I hear is just a little bit different than the other Apple aluminum remote. Apparently the buttons on the old one were raised and this is now even, I guess. I don't know. I haven't played with the other aluminum one. But anyway, it's typical. It's got the same buttons as the old white one, just differently. I think it kind of lays in your hand a little bit better. But it's just a basic infrared. Let's see, what else? Underneath we have cables. We've got a, cable. We have a power cord. That's it. No HDMI, so if you got this, make sure you go get an HDMI. I think they're assuming that most of us who would have got this on the first day probably already have an HDMI hooked up to our previous Apple TV. So anyway, power cable, black instead of white. Apple TV book. These never have any information you really need. It's like plug and play, but sometimes it's good to read it. Okay, so that's pretty much that. There's, oh, interesting, it's got like another wrapper around it. So, here we go, we're going to undo this. Important, please read software agreement. Oh yeah, like you have a choice. Okay, so we pull it off. It's actually really, really light. Now, I saw on the iFixit teardown when they did this that the plastic actually, because they use a cheaper plastic, it's really easy to scratch. So that's probably why they have this little tab here and to protect the plastic so it looks nice and shiny when you get it, and then as soon as you try and stick it in your entertainment system, yeah, it's just going to get scratched up. So anyway, here we go. We have, let's see, we have power, HDMI, service and support only for the USB, wink wink, optical audio, if you're lucky enough to have a system that can handle that, and then Ethernet if you choose to not use Wi-Fi, but I think for most instances Wi-Fi is going to be the way to go anyway. It's wireless and it's going to be fast enough. And doing an Ethernet, you're going to have cables everywhere, and you probably don't want to have all that stuff right next to your TV. Anyway, so that's it. Looks beautiful, I think, actually. It's I'm kind of excited to play with it. Bottom's got, a nice little shiny black Apple logo there. in the teardown they mentioned all the heat sinks that are in here. I guess there's like 3 from the top down, and according to Macworld podcast, they said that it actually runs fairly cold, so be interested. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. It was fun for me. I'm learning a little bit about video. All right, have a good day. See ya.